if you're new to the channel, my name's Dino, and with my partner Adam and our fur baby Twyla, we've been travelling around Australia in our Ford Transit camper van part-time for the last 4 years. Unfortunately, just recently our van broke down, and with that we decided we were going to sell our house, buy a new van and go full-time at the end of this year, which we decided to go with an Emu RV, which is getting built as we speak, and we'll be picking it up really soon. But before then, we'll still be releasing our weekly episodes on a Sunday at 5 p.m, travelling in our Jimny, doing tent camping, an occasional Airbnb, and even a hotel. So if you enjoy the great outdoors, camp cooking, the occasional country bakery, come with us as we keep travelling Australia one town at a time. Now let's return to this week's episode. I'm so excited about this episode, guys. I'm going to be whipping up some fantastic winter camp cooking meals that you can do over the winter when you're out camping, in your RV, in your camper van, tent camping, swag, whatever you're doing. You can cook these meals in a fry pan, over a fire, in a camp oven, whatever you like. I'm going to be cooking them in our van. This is the very last episode you'll ever see of our van, and then we will be receiving our new van in the near future, and we can't wait. But during this episode also, I'll be taking you back into the past where we had some great adventures in this van, and just show you some imagery of that, and then also showing you these great recipes. So let's not wait any longer. Let's get straight into the first one. So this recipe is called sausages with onion gravy. Yes, you heard me right. And I'm going to be doing this on a bed of Deb. Yes, she's back to help out, Deb. And even though Adam can't stand her, but don't tell her that. So let's show you the ingredients that I'll be using in this recipe. There she is, good old Deb, ready to help out. And sausages, I picked up some on sale. Woohoo! Just beef sausages. You can use pork sausages, whatever sausages you like, really. You could even get like ones with rosemary and wine and, you know, all those fancy ones. But I'm just using plain old beef sausages from Coles. Butter, onions. Now, either use 3 large, big onions, or you can use these, like, these are kind of, you know, not quite small, but not quite big. So I'm doing 4 of those. We've got a beef stock. I've just got one of these smaller ones. That's all you'll need. Garlic, Worcestershire sauce, plain flour, oil, salt, pepper, and I've got some oregano. Very simple recipe, very simple, but it's going to keep you warm and taste great. But first things first, I've got to cut these babies up, so get ready to cry. Okay, so it didn't end up too bad. My eyes are a little bit watery. Oh my God. But let's get these sausages cooked. And then we're going to go in with our sausages. Oops, don't put the plastic in there. Whilst they cook away, let me tell you about Adam and myself's favourite place. We used to love camping in this van. We went there multiple times. If you've been watching the channel for years, you know what I'm talking about. It's Mount Franklin, not far from Daylesford. It's an old extinct volcano, and we did so many cooking episodes there. We did a winter camp cooking episode there once. We did scones there. Adam cooked fish over the fire, and we did so many great, beautiful meals at that camping spot. And it's just absolutely magic in the morning there with the pine trees. It's stunning. So if you ever get a chance, you're in Victoria, you want a free camping spot, and I suggest going midweek, because on the weekends it gets very busy now, probably because of people like us telling you about it. So yeah, it's a beautiful spot, and it's just nice to look back at these memories of us camping there and doing the walk along the rim of the volcano. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, better go check these sausages. So these are looking great. Now I'm just going to get them out, cut them up, and put them aside for a minute. Now that they're all chopped up, we're just going to leave them to the side. I've got my butter. I've got 50 grams of butter that I'm going to throw into the pan now. Leave the sausage fat in there as well. It's all going to help with the flavour. And you just want to get that melted down a little bit. And then we'll come back over here, grab our onions, and we're going to pop them in. I'm going to cook them off. Now it may look like a lot of onion, but remember these will cook down. We're going to caramelize them and get them looking nice, and then we'll do the rest of the recipe. So these have started to brown up and go translucent. Now I'm going to throw in a teaspoon of garlic, a very large teaspoon of garlic, or you can use fresh if you want. It's just easier on the road to have this stuff. Then I'm just going to go in and chuck a whole heap of pepper in. This is to taste, so whatever you want to do. I'm not going to put salt into the end. I don't know if we'll 100% need it. Now it's time for some beef stock, so let's get that in. Then we'll go in with a splash of the Worcestershire sauce, just a nice big splash. Keep mixing it around. And now we want to sprinkle in some plain flour. Not too much, just a bit, to thicken it up. So all that flour has disappeared. Now I just want to introduce back into it our sausages. Try not to make it too much of a splash. And at the same time, we're going to pop in some oregano. Just a nice sprinkle of dry oregano is fine. So I've just had my first taste. So now I've decided I'm going to add in just a little bit of salt. Just need that little bit extra. And this is pretty much ready. Once I simmer this for a little bit. It's your time to shine, Deb. Let's make you up. Okay, I've got my Deb made up and ready to dish. So let's get some of this goodness inside here next to our Deb. Now remember, you can do just normal potato. You don't have to do Deb. All right, this looks great. Time to give this a go and have a taste and see what it's like. It smells fantastic. Love it. I really love the taste of the pepper in it. So good. I definitely recommend that if you like spicy food, chuck a bit of chili in it. I reckon it'll be fantastic. Even some fresh chilies. That'll really warm you up. But otherwise, this is fantastic. Good family dish because, you know, it's not spicy or anything. And if mum or dad want to add an extra spice on it, like I said, you can chuck some chili in there. And also another idea, you could always put curry powder and turn it into curry sausages. But otherwise, I'm having it like this because it tastes bloody great. All right, leave me to it. Next on the menu, I'm going to be doing some chili beans. Yes. So like a chili con carne, and it's going to be absolutely delicious, full of flavour. It's going to be hot. And I can cook this over a fire or in the pan, like all these recipes. But I think I'm going to do this one in my slow cooker and cook it really nice and slow and get as much flavour out of it as I can. So let me get my cooker out and start cooking this baby. Now, don't let all these ingredients turn you off. There is a lot here, but in saying that, we can make this at home before you go camping and put in a little bag and have it ready to go to pop in with all this. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to do all my spices, and then we'll come over here and cut up the onion and fry off the mince. We're also using mixed beans. You can just use black if you want, but I'm doing mixed. I've got tomatoes, preferably crushed, but I've got whole tomatoes, so I'm going to have to crush them myself to go stomp on them. I've got some tomato paste, and then I've got a few different capsicums, every single capsicum, yellow, green, red, one onion, a chili. I've got one large chili. I might get rid of some of the seeds in it so it's not so as hot. And then I've got 2 jalapenos that I'm going to cut up for it. Absolutely loving all this colour here. I'm going to go in with some onion powder, just about a teaspoon. So get that in there. And then we're going to go smoked paprika. I'm just going to do about a teaspoon as well. Then a sprinkle of oregano. Then a nice big splash of garlic powder. Now we're going to go in with paprika, sweet paprika this time. So we're going to get in there and get that goodness in there, about a teaspoon. Then we have our chili powder. We're going to go in with a teaspoon of that. Oh, the smells are fantastic. Then we're going to go in with our ground cumin seeds. So we'll just get them in there, about a teaspoon as well. And then look at these colours, they look great. So I'm just going to give that a mix around and put it to the side. Time to prep all the veggies. So we'll get these cut up and then we can start cooking. Okay, everything is diced up. So the capsicum, I've just diced like that. I've just put that in the lid, save getting out a bowl, save dishes. And we've got the chili, the jalapenos, and then I've got my onion cut up. So we are ready to start cooking. All right, pan's on. Then you want to get your oil in and just get that pan nice and hot before chucking your onions in. The onions have been cooking for a bit. They've just gone a little bit translucent. It's just starting to brown. So we're going to throw in our mince and just get that a bit browned up. Just make sure you remove the paper. Now, I did say I was going to cook this in a slow cooker, but I've just realised I have to brown off the meat, the onion. So since it's in the pan, I may as well just finish it off in the pan. But you can throw this in the slow cooker and just let it cook and sit there, you know, low 4 hours. It'll come out beautiful. And just make sure you cook it off a little bit in the pan beforehand. And also, you can do this whole thing, like I said, in the camp oven. But we'll be sticking to the pan. So that's almost browned off. So now I'm going to go in with my magic mix that I just made. And we're just going to sprinkle that all over and then mix that through. All right, looks like we're ready for these guys now. And this is looking nice and brown. And you can see that slowly coming together. Now I'm just going to soften these up a little bit. Absolutely loving all the colour. And we're going to add to that now by adding our chili and the jalapenos. There we go. Now I'm just going to throw in some water, just a dash, just so I can steam this up. You just want to give it a mix around and then chuck the lid on and then let those capsicums soften. This is smelling absolutely delicious. Now we're going to go in with our tomatoes. Now remember, get diced tomatoes. I got whole tomatoes. I stuck a knife in there, so hopefully they're chopped up enough. I might have to chop them up as I cook it through. But anyway, get all that goodness out. Then we've got both cans of beans, so get them in there. Look at that. This is looking fantastic. And I almost forgot my tomato paste. Just one sachet. Now we're going to mix that through, and then we're going to turn the heat up and get it basically to a boiling point, and then turn it down to let it simmer for as long as pretty much you want, but you want to cook it for a fair bit just to get all that flavour through it. This is where a slow cooker would be handy. So you can see it's starting to boil now. So now what we want to do is pop our lid on. So here we go. And then we just want to reduce the heat and let it simmer for as long as you can, pretty much, as long as you can. So whilst that simmers away, let's look back at some of these amazing memories that we've made in this van. We've been to so many different places and free camped, we've paid camped, and we just really have enjoyed our adventures in this van. It has given so much to us, and this channel has done the same. So let's look back and remember those good old times before saying goodbye to this old girl and saying hello to our new van. this has been cooking for quite a while now, and I've had a taste, and I'm thinking I'm going to double my spice. So I've gone to 2 teaspoons of everything. This is 1 teaspoon of everything, but I've already put the first lot in. So I'm going to mix that through and give that another probably half an hour, and I think we should be right. Look how this has turned out. It looks so good. I've started garnishing. I've got jalapenos that are just to add a bit more heat. Now, trust me, it is hot. If you don't like hot, only do the 1 teaspoon of everything. But otherwise, the amount that's in here now is hot, hot, hot. And then I want to put a bit of cheese as well. So it's always nice to have a bit of cheese. So get that on there. And then lastly, you want to grab some chips, Doritos, and I normally just stick them in the side like that, so you can eat them. Whatever ones you want to get. If you want to get the plain, these got a bit of cheese on them. There, what flavour? Those ones, tasty cheese. But yeah, whatever ones, and then you can just pick it up with your chip and eat away. It doesn't look too crush hot now, but it smells good. And now that the rain has come along, check this out, I had to close it because the water was getting in. I had it open, and then all of a sudden a big storm came and I've had to close it off. Now everything's a little bit wet, but that's okay. So perfect timing. Now let's eat. Bon appetit. Well, there's only one last thing to do. Cheers. So good. If you like spicy food, you are going to love this. And it's definitely going to warm you up in the winter. Also, if you don't want it this hot, just do the 1 teaspoon of everything. But if you want it hotter, definitely do the 2 teaspoons. Well, I'm going to go enjoy the rest. And then I'll tell you what I'm cooking next. Listen to that rain pouring down. Now, before we get into my next recipe, I was only just thinking then how I did a whole heap of episodes of where I chose one food and made a whole episode about it. And I don't know, if you've been watching the episodes for a while, you'll remember these. I did the Vegemite episode. I did a dim sim episode where I cooked everything with dim sims. My favourite thing from that episode was when I cooked the dim sim burger and used the skins for fries, but you definitely got to go back and watch that if you haven't already. My favourite would probably have to be the hot dog episode, which I filmed up in Mount Franklin. That was so much fun, and it was actually quite delicious. But trust me, after these episodes, I don't eat that food for a long time. You kind of get sick of it over a weekend. Okay, I'm all set up for our next meal, and this meal is going to be something absolutely delicious. It is going to be a pumpkin curry. Yes, you heard me right. Very easy. It's actually technically vegetarian. So if you're veggie, you might like this. And I've got a feeling Adam is. I've actually gone and set up the table, hoping that Adam will come join me. I'm going to be serving this with rice. So anyway, let's go start cooking. So similar to the last recipe we just did, there is a few spices in this one. Not too many at all. So I'll show you what they all are. You can see some of them there as we put them in. But otherwise, the main part of the recipe, you just need, obviously, a pumpkin. I've got a quarter of a pumpkin here cut up in cubes. I've got my onion already pre-cut, just cubed up as well. I've got 2 blocks of the veggie stock with some in boiling water that I've just diluted, and now that is ready to pour in. So I've got about, how much is that? Probably, I can't see on there how much it is, but we'll say a couple of cups. Then we've got garlic and chickpeas, a can of tomatoes, and some coconut milk. All right, let's get this started. So first things first, let's get our splash of oil in. I'm loving this bottle. Definitely will be taking that way on our big trip. And then go in with the onion and then toss that around and get it a little bit brown and soft. This is just starting to brown. So now we're going to start off with throwing our spices in. This is cumin seed grounded. So about a teaspoon, okay? I know this is not a teaspoon, but about a teaspoon. Now this is ground ginger. If you don't want to use ground ginger, you can use the real thing. Just put it in there. But I'm just using about a little bit less than a teaspoon in there. Then we're going to go in with some turmeric. So we'll pop that in. Then I'm going to pop in my curry powder. I've just gone a bit heavy with that, but you can go as little or more as you want. And then we're going to go in with some chili flakes. Again, if you don't like it hot, don't put too many. I'm only going to put a little bit. Well, that's my kind of little bit. Just because Adam's going to be eating this, and he's not... He can eat hot food, but he's not overly that good too hot for food. And then give that a mix around. Oh, it smells so good. And I almost forgot my garlic. So I'm going about a teaspoon and a half of garlic. And give that a good mix again. Now, I've had to turn the exhaust fan on. This place is getting smoky. In goes the pumpkin. Give that a good mix around. Veggie stock. Can of diced tomatoes. Chickpeas go in. Then lastly, we have our coconut milk. In she goes. Right, now we're just going to give that a really good stir, and then we want to bring it up to the boil, then turn it back down to a simmer until that pumpkin is cooked through, and that is when your meal will be ready. If only I had smell-o-vision. This smells so good. All right, now that it's boiling, let's turn it down to a simmer, and then we will let it cook away, and we'll see how long this takes to cook. Whilst that is cooking away, let's have a little chat and some memories about our van. One thing this van has done along the way is gotten us out there to meet other people that like doing what we do. And I remember this one time we were camping at a free camp spot, and we'd gotten there, we'd collected our wood, we started a fire, and I was going to be cooking my mum's witchetty grub soup. If I can find that episode, I'll pop it on the end of this because it was such a great episode. I might have a few clips I can put up still. And we were there, we were just having a great time, we were getting ready to cook, and these two ladies, middle-aged, rocked up with their van, pulled up and said, look, you guys got your fire going. We want to just cook our dinner. Do you mind if we use the fire? So yeah, so I said, look, as long as you don't mind being in the episode, you can stay here. And so they joined us, and they were in the episode. They taught us a lot. They told us their stories. They showed us pictures of their trips they'd been on. They told us about a few apps they have on their phone that are really handy. It was just a fantastic night. We had a great time. Probably had one too many drinks, but it was a really great time and great memories. And that's what is fantastic about these vans. You know, they take you places, to see places, and to meet some amazing people and locals and just people traveling themselves. All right, well, let's go check on this curry and see if it's ready. Look who's come to visit us. Twyla and Adam.
It's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah. All right, cool. I'll dish up. This is looking fantastic. And we are ready to pop it on a bed of rice. So, do you want much sauce, Adam, or? Probably a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, one more scoop.
Yep.
Thanks.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
All right, give that a go. Okay, so the verdict is?
It's nice.
It is?
It's really hot.
But not temperature hot, yeah?
Yeah, temperature hot.
Oh, temperature, sorry.
Yeah.
Spicy hot.
Yeah, no, it's not spicy hot, so it's good. I like how actually you got the chew of the chickpeas. And the pumpkin's not mushed, which is nice.
Yeah, I didn't want to overcook it because literally if you overcooked it, it'll end up being a proper soup. So, which you could, if you wanted to blend it and you could add a couple of potatoes, you could actually turn this into a soup. But
Did you put coriander in it?
No, I forgot to. It was meant to have coriander.
So I thought it was meant to be coriander.
Yeah, so you can add coriander. That's the only thing that's missing, but otherwise, pretty good. Mm-hmm. And Twyla, you don't get any. We'll have to make you something next. Do you want some pasta? Maybe we can cook you some pasta. All right, looks like Adam was impressed with that meal, so that's good. Poor Twyla missed out. Now I'm going to get straight into the next meal. This is a pasta dish. Now, this is probably my second favourite sauce. My favourite sauce is calabrese. Oh, love that. But this is ossobuco. It's not always easy to find ossobuco. You're probably going to have to go to the butchers to get it. Sometimes they have it at Woolies or Coles, but I went there this time, didn't have it. But I went to the local butcher, picked it up, supported a local business, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, we're going to get this straight on, and I'm going to be cooking it in the slow cooker. Perfect for if you're at a campsite, you just want to get it on in the morning, leave it cooking for 8 hours, come back to it. Beautiful. I suggest cooking it either in a slow cooker or your camp oven. If you're going to do it in a fry pan, it's probably going to be more hard work because you're going to have to keep stirring it and things like that. Where in a slow cooker, try to set and forget. All right, well, let's see what goes into this. Still raining outside, but we're about to warm up again with another meal. Check this out. This is my ossobuco in a red sauce. Absolutely gorgeous with pasta you have it with. So this is the ossobuco that I've got from the butchers. Look how thick this is. Look at that. 2 massive cuts of meat. Now I'm going to cook this down to the point where it's just going to fall apart, and then I'm going to rip it all up and then mix it back through the sauce. So that's how I'm going to cook this. 1 large onion or 2 small onions, 2 cans of crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and mixed herbs. If you haven't got Italian herbs, use mixed herbs. I like to use these pre-mixed stuff only because it's easier on the road. You don't have to take, 100 spices or herbs like we have been doing the last 2 recipes. This is just a lot easier. And that's where I do say, with those 2 last recipes, make up your spices before you go. Put them in a little sealy bag, and when you get there, you can just throw them in, and then you don't have to be carting all those with you. And then we've got 2 pasta sauces, a tomato paste, garlic, chili, and oil, just to brown off the meat and the onion. So first things first, in goes the oil. Nice. And then into the pan goes your onion. So get all that in there and brown that off. So whilst that is browning, we're going to throw our sauce straight in here. Now I just remember too, if you've got some red wine handy, throw it in as well. So I'm going to go and see if I've got any red wine. Make sure I didn't drink it all. And I'm going to throw some of that in too. But anyway, first things first, get your sauces in. If you've got red wine, throw it in these bottles and get all that goodness out before you pour them in here. Then we're going to go in with our diced tomatoes. Now I've just realised I've got 1 diced, and then I've got 1 that's whole tomatoes. So I might have to stick a knife through that and cut them up a bit. Oops. All right, these are starting to look good. Now I'm going to throw in about a teaspoon of garlic, or maybe a little bit more. All right, they're just started to brown up. So, time to get them into the slow cooker. Pour them straight in. And whilst that pan is still pretty hot, let's chuck a little bit more oil in and go in with our meat, our ossobuco, and we're just browning it both sides. These are massive. Look at that. Oh, these are going to be great. Now back over here at the slow cooker and chuck in our mixed herbs. I'll try not to go too crazy, but at the same time you've got to have something in there. Then also throw in your tomato paste. I think I'm going to need a spoon for this. Just turned over my ossobuco. Only probably another minute and they'll be ready to go into our sauce, which I haven't quite finished yet. So we'll just let them cook off. Now I've got 2 big stock cubes that I'm just going to break up and pop that over top. And we'll mix that through. Then we'll go in with our chili. Now a chili, up to you. I'll just do that much to be kind, because you can always add chili on top after you've cooked the meal. So you just put a little bit in there for flavour, and I think it'll be enough. Now I found myself some red wine, so I'm going to pour that into this first bottle. Give that a really good shake, and then I'm going to pour it into that bottle, then I'll pour it into this can, that can, and then pour it in. Look at that. Nice clean bottle. Now look at how clean these are now. And look how thick this is coming out of here. That's all that goodness we would have wasted if we hadn't have done that. That's awesome. Beautiful. Just the way I like to see it. Now, we're finally going to give this a stir. All right, let's go. Big stir. Everything's in there now. This is looking so good. I've definitely made a nice mess here. Now we're just going to take our meat. And you see it's still a little bit pink, but that's okay. That's how we want it. Just brown on each side. Straight in. Get it underneath that sauce. And the same as this one. In it goes. Oh, this looks so good. It's going to be delicious. And then in it goes. And then we just want to poke that down. Oop, dirty fingers. Oop. Okay. Lid goes on. Because I want this sooner than later, I'm putting it on high for 4 hours. Otherwise, you can go low for 8 hours if you've got more time. But because we're having this for dinner tonight, I'm going to kick that over to high and let that cook for 4 hours. But one thing, it helps if you turn the power on. Well, the weather's changed. The rain stopped. It's very overcast, but and I've got the back doors open, so it's just nice to have a breeze in here while that's cooking away. Okay, check this out. After over 4 hours it's been, let me just grab some tongs. I'm just going to pull out the meat. The meat's just falling apart. Right, look at this. The bone's gone, the bone marrow. It's in there somewhere. So I need to get it out onto the chopping board. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it all up because it's all so tender now. Look at that. Another one without the... Oh, there you go. That's how tender it is. So I'm going to pull this all apart. And then, oh, look, there's a marrow there. And I want to empty that marrow. Oh, it's already empty. Look at that. See through. Hello. So get all that goodness back into the pot. And then this is pretty much ready to serve. Look at this. Look at this meat. It's falling apart. It looks amazing. Smells good. So here's all the meat. These are both hollow now. And this is the meat. Look how tender it is. It's just absolutely tender. So now I'm just going to pop that back in. Give it a stir around. And this is ready. On top with some Parmesan. Look at this. Look how good this looks. Those big chunks of meat. And the sauce is so nice and thick. So you want to get an even amount of meat and sauce. And finally, Twyla can join us and actually have some pasta. She's been dying for this, hasn't she? Mm. It smells so good.
You can have some?
Yes, of course I'm going to have some. But can I say, this recipe I learned from your family because I never knew what ossobuco was before I met you. And I remember your dad cooking it and this flavour was just, whoa. And I knew straight away I loved it and love cooking it ever since. So so I've mastered the ossobuco. Well, hopefully I'm getting better. Excuse me. Oh, bloody Italians. You can never impress them. But anyway.
It tastes nice.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I would have had it with chili on it, but anyway. And Twyla, have you had your pasta yet? You have. You going to have some more?
She won't stop.
Well, there you go, guys. That is a lot of dishes in one episode. What do you reckon? And Adam, what have you been doing the whole time?
I have been did some editing today.
Oh, yes.
Did some editing, did some housework.
Oh, yes.
Took her for a walk.
Took Twyla for a walk.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been pretty crazy this week, hasn't it, Twyla? Look at Twyla. Yes, you went for a walk. Oh, that's why I said the word walk. We're in trouble now. Looks like we might have to take her for a walk after dinner. All right, guys, before we go to the end of this episode, I should let you know we've just had news that the van has sold. It's literally, they're coming now to pick it up. This is a few days after I filmed this episode. And yeah, they're coming to pick it up now. It's getting taken away to New South Wales. And hopefully it's going to be brought back to life. And it is going to go to a new family who's going to love it just as much as us. So that's what we wanted. And that's what's happened. And we're very happy.